If you watch the counting videos that we do around here, you might think that the biggest number is 10.
What? 10 is not the biggest number?
No, it certainly isn't, Excite Dog.
11 is bigger.
Right. So is 17 or 19
or 20.
Right, Excite Dog. 20 is a big number. But is 20 the biggest number?
No. 21 is bigger.
Right. Or 25, or even 30, or even 84, or 96.
Or 100.
Exactly. 100 is a very big number.
100 is the biggest number. I knew that because I counted that high once.
Really? Would you be surprised, Excite Dog, to learn that numbers get even bigger?
What?
There's 101, 102, and even 110.
What?
120, 150, 180, and even 199.
200. 200 is the biggest number.
Nope. There's 201, 250, 287, and even 300, 400, 500, numbers such as 750, 888, and even 999. And after that comes 1,000.
1,000? 1,000 is the biggest number?
Nope. And here's where we start to get really big. You can have 1,001, but you can also have 1,100, and you can even have 2,000.
What? 2,000?
2002, 2,222, and after 2,999, you get 3,000.
What?
And then 4,000, 5,000, and even 10,000.
10,000? That is a very big number.
And it's still not the biggest, Excite Dog. There's 11,000, 20,000, 50,000, and even 99,999. And can you guess what comes after that?
A number bigger than 99,999?
100,000. And then there's 200,000, 300,000.
400,000?
That's right, Excite Dog. 400,000, 500,000, 600,000, all the way up to 999,000. And then you get a very special number. It's a number for when you have 1,000 thousands.
What? 1,000 thousands?
It's called 1 million. That's a number so big, that if you started counting at 1 and counting up, taking a second for each number, it would take you 12 days just to count to 1 million.
12 days?
Crazy, right? And that's still not the biggest number.
What?
There's 2 million, 3 million, and even 10 million.
Oh, boy.
11 million, 20 million, 45 million, 80 million, and even 999,999,999. And do you know what happens when you get to 1,000 millions?
What happens when you get to 1,000 millions?
You get 1 billion.
Oh, my. That is a very big number.
Yes, 1 billion is so big, it's actually 10 digits or 10 numbers long itself. Do you know how long it would take you to count to 1 billion if you counted one number every second?
How long? How long?
It would take you 31 years.
What?
To give you an idea of how big that is, right now, there are 8 billion people on the planet. So it would take you 248 years to count all the humans on Earth if they all lined up so you could count one each second. And that would be without sleeping or taking breaks to go to the bathroom.
That's crazy!
I know. And 1 billion still isn't the biggest number, Excite Dog.
What?
There's 2 billion, 3 billion, 10 billion, 50 billion, 100 billion, 500 billion, 999 billion. And then guess what happens when you get to 1,000 billion?
Oh boy! What?
You get a trillion.
A trillion? A trillion is the biggest number?
Nope. You can have 1,000 trillion, Excite Dog, and that gets you a quadrillion.
What?
And then there's a quintillion, then there's a sextillion, septillion.
Hold it! You're just making these numbers up to trick me.
No, these are real numbers. They're just so big, they can never be counted. Octillion, nontillion, decillion.
What about a zillion?
A zillion, Excite Dog, sounds like a very big number, but a zillion is actually not a number.
Oh! Well, then, what is the biggest number?
We're getting there. Excite Dog, if you take the number 1 and add 100 zeros, you get one of the biggest numbers imaginable. It's called a Google.
A Google? That sounds like Google, that thing on the internet.
That's right. The search engine Google is named after the super big number Google. But even Google is not the biggest number. If you take a 1 and put a Google zeros after it, you get Googleplex. And Googleplex, Excite Dog, is the biggest number that has ever been named.
So, Googleplex is the biggest number?
Yes and no. Numbers always get bigger because there's no limit to how high numbers can go. You could take a Googleplex and add 1 to it, and you'd have a bigger number. And then a bigger number if you added 2. But these numbers are so huge, only supercomputers can be used to do anything with them. Googleplex is so big, if you were to try to write it down, it would fill a book, and then another book, and then another book, and then keep filling books. Just writing that number would fill so many books that those books would fill our entire planet, our entire solar system, and then our entire galaxy and even the galaxy next to it. So as far as saying the names of numbers, Googleplex is as big as it gets. Now some people will say the biggest number is infinity.
Infinity?
Yes, but infinity is not an actual number. Infinity is an idea that means everything. So yes, infinity would be even bigger than a Googleplex. But it's not really a number. You can't count to infinity, even if you're a supercomputer. So all of this is to say, I think I might just stick to the numbers 1 to 20.
Yeah!
Thanks for looking at really big numbers with us, and I hope you learned something. 'Cause